Brought to you by Pete and Chris Amusement. And here he goes, trying again. Oh! And an atomic drop. He appears to be running around the ring now, just trying to stay away from his opponent. And again, that atomic drop. Oh, God. Oh, he finally lands a shot. I mean, what's this? And a beautiful suplex. Beautiful tiger suplex. And gets the pin. Super Driver loses his debut match. A 10-year veteran of the squared circle. Losing his debut.
ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Ladies and gentlemen, that was just Momi Mano, whom we just heard from right there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Walters welcoming you to yet another edition of OJ-FWA Fight TV. And that woman right there is the aforementioned Liliana, the one Momi Mano was just talking about. We've got a lot going on these days, and nearly at the top of the charts there is in the beginning, you saw the conversation between Reiko Ikawa and John McKay. The less than well-received debut of the Super Driver was what they were discussing. However, a much more successful superstar at this point, a much more successful performer, is that one right there, Liliana. And you know what? I think she's ready for action. Wow, Liliana going right away for the attack here. Climbing to that top turnbuckle. And nailing that shoulder block. Liliana firing away with those strikes. And a big chop. A move that she often likes to use to finish her opponents. Liliana picking her up, standing her up on that corner, taking her down with that super backdrop. Liliana again shooting her opponent to the corner, putting her up. Nice arm drag takedown. And again, yet another shot to the corner, and this time she finishes with a monkey flip. Liliana going to work on those legs. And it looks like she's focusing on them. Going into that Boston Crab. Leaning way back on it until finally relinquishing the hold. However, it looks like her opponent... Well, it looks like her opponent made a very, very, very critical mistake. Do not make her angry. She's already angry enough as it is. In fact, it looks like she almost lashed out at the referee there. Considering what's been going on in Liliana's life right now. Her friend being attacked after a match. Her friend Michiko Watanabe being attacked by her opponent Ami Naito, the same one who crippled Iku. And pretty much forced her to retirement. Ruined her emotionally and physically. And of course, you cannot discount the actions of the woman we saw previous to this match. Momi Amano, her and her cohorts, attacking Liliana after a match a couple weeks ago. Oh, and what is this? This looks like it's more of a statement than anything else. Enjoying a drink with the fans, I suppose. Well, I guess if you dig that, then I welcome to the front row. Liliana and her opponent here. Liliana unleashing with those leaping strikes. Wait a minute. A guitar? Since when do fans bring guitars to events? Liliana, again, working on her opponent there. Now I had a chance to speak to the hardcore Talarican Liliana in the back, and she has told me in no uncertain terms that this all has definitely been getting to her. And as we see a beautiful fall away slam by the hardcore Talarican, and you can imagine that she's visualizing her opponent as being Momi Amano or Ami Naito at this point. And yes, indeed, you could certainly imagine that that is the case with that damned choke. Liliana continuing the assault to the neck area with that camel clutch. And again, relinquishing the hold. Quite frankly, I don't think that's how she wants to end the match. I think she has something else planned. But then again, so does her opponent. Nice face plant. Getting one over on the hardcore Talarican. She'd better learn how to make the best out of this situation. The opponent wrenching that arm. Over Liliana just blasts out with that flying cross chop. And again, going back to work on those legs there. And going back to that Boston Crab. What could be her plan here? And again relinquishing it, but I think this time she held it on for just a little bit longer. Oh, and what a chop there! This could be it. 1, 2, and Tommy Thompson counts to 3. Again, another Liliana match won by that vicious backhand chop of hers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of OJ-FWA performers, we'd like to take you to some footage of Champion Soul Tournament Week 1, in which we see Jesus Jacobs taking on Edison's Frank. Do you remember Wrestlin Jesus Jacobs? Well, if you do, you probably remember him from the Champion Soul Tournament. And here's some footage of him from that very event, the Champion Soul Tournament. This was week 1 of the main round robin tournament. And as you can see, he was a very vicious competitor. Very much in that vein of the mixed martial arts variety. A mix of Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A very efficient takedown artist. And a man who loves submissions. Wrestling Jesus Jacobs could take on men much larger than himself. And in fact, has done so for many years. In fact, let's go back before the formation of OJ-FWA, back in the old NOJ days here, where the feud between Jesus Jacobs and John Copyright McKay was reaching a fevered pitch. And it led them to having a now legendary mixed martial arts encounter. And speaking of John McKay, well, believe it or not, there he is. Of course, he's normally known as being in his big pink and purple getup. However, for this encounter, he opted to have an angry red color, as you can see here. Now, we are going to selectively edit this as to not show his face, as in mixed martial arts rules, you cannot wear a mask. So we're going to selectively edit this to make sure you do not see his face. But there it is, the legendary 3-second tap out by John McKay. So where is he now? Well, he's honing his craft in the mixed martial arts world. There we see there, in the yellow, Jesus Jacobs, taking on a much less experienced opponent. And as we see Jesus Jacobs, as usual, going for submission type maneuvers. However, still loving to rain down the strikes. You do not want to get him in an upper position here. Then he just loves to rain down the strikes onto you. Wrestling Jesus Jacobs, always going for the submissions. However, like I said, submission wrestler, but very, very, very proficient with striking. And the beautiful dodge of that punch leading to that takedown. And he has been known to knock a few people out. As he saw to Edison's Frank, we just saw right there to his young opponent. Will we see him back in OJ-FWA proper? Time will only tell. However, if he does come back, well, his opponents certainly better be studying up. Because Jesus Jacobs looks like he's ready to mount your head over his fireplace. We'll be back after this.
スーパーチャンスが溢れてる。時代はスーパーだ。
また色に差がついたね。
スーパーフジカラー新発売。
しみじみドリンキング、しみじみウィー。今日本がうまい。これぞジャパッシュ宝正宗新発売。
Exciting Ben Cougar.
この一服から私の心の旅が始まる。心の旅、大切に。
日本タバコ。近頃ファインは日課です。
高画質だから感動もファイン。三菱ファインスクエア。大画面は三菱です。
コーヒーの繊維、今クライマックスへ。味わいは深く濃く。
A flash in the pan, huh? Well, that was an interesting interview by the Jesus, as he likes to call himself. And, quite frankly, I think he was issuing a challenge to this man right here, Flash Jones. This man, a championship boxing figure, also went very far in the Champion Soul tournament before being the last man on Caleb Dodd's stop to the heavyweight championship title shot. However, after plenty of time to recover, Flash Jones is back and ready for action. And it's him versus Asanomori for number one contendership for the Ningen-Kyu Sekai Oza. And you may be wondering why it is this man, Asanomori, who's getting the shot instead of the actual winner of the Battle Royal that we most recently had, Tiger Miyazawa. Well, I can tell you this, backstage, Tiger Miyazawa has been asking officials that very question. But regardless, This man has been around for so long. Honestly, nobody else would question why he would get this shot. He is the Orange Crusher, and he is the friend of the former champion Hidenori Tsujimoto. This is Asanomori. Asanomori creeping into that 500-pound mark. Very athletic for a man his size. Flash. Firing with some shots. Looks like they're trying to go shot for shot here. Not sure that's such a good idea for Asanomori, but then again, he's been around for quite a while. He's been around in this business longer than I've been. Oh, and what a shot! Taking down Flash. And another one. Asanomori trying for those Uraken. Certainly Flash more successful with his punches than Asanomori's being with his attempted shots. But you gotta imagine the force behind the blows of Asanomori with that size may be much more deadly. Asanomori with a nice body slam. However, he was interrupted when he tried to go for some sort of leg submission, perhaps a Boston Crab. Flash Jones now was at one point trying to keep his distance and bide his time. Oh, you see Flash Jones going right back around to the front of Asanomori there. Jones to the ropes, and a beautiful drop kick by the nearly 500-pound Orange Crusher. Something you don't see a lot of people in that weight range do these days. Or really ever. Peppering his chin. A series of punches to the body. And an uppercut, a sort of a rabbit punch, as it were, to the back of the head. However, Asanomori getting some ground here. However, he lets him go. And a body slam. And a headbutt by Flash Jones. This has been a real seesaw battle as of right now. Right now, Asanomori in control with that camel clutch. Flash able to escape. Asanomori spinning back around. Flash positioning Asanomori. Flash has really been able to land a number of good shots here. And you gotta imagine, each one must be taking a great toll on the body of Asanomori. Flash taunting his downed opponent. Asanomori with that front face lock, and again to that camel clutch. Stretching that torso, affecting that lower lumbar region. And a nice slam on the part of Asanomori, putting his whole weight behind it. However, that does not stop Flash Jones as he fires back with that combination of punches. Wait a minute, could this be his running trademark uppercut? Yes, it is! And mocking his downed opponent. And again he hits it.
Give up.
usually does like to finish his opponents with that maneuver. However, I've seen on more than one occasion him lift his opponent right back up and try again. Flash attempting to mount his opponent, but Asanomori said, "Nuh-uh." However, that punch brought Asanomori to his knees. And I think if this was a Sekai Ningen Kyoza match, a world title match, according to our world title rules, Asanomori would have started to have that count. And Asanomori firing back with that headbutt. Finally hitting that Boston Crab, going back to that lower lumbar region. However, another strike just takes the wind out of the sails of Asanomori. Asanomori has to stop being on the other end of those punches. Wait a minute, what's this? What a victory by Flash Jones! Flash Jones is your #1 contender. Now, ladies and gentlemen, next week on Fight TV, we have another amazing match between two amazing competitors. We have former champion Frank Bunting taking on the laid-back country boy At Peace. You don't want to miss this. See you next time on Fight TV.
ご覧のスポンサーの提供で